down a bunch. He's just trying to line in right now.
That was a different ball.
Yep.
I didn't see the big orange spot on that one.
Yeah, a lot of those balls that get colors like that, better players that look for rotation, and you're not following the grips or the thumb hole, but you're looking for the ball motion. Those bright colors throw a lot of guys off. I know I have a problem seeing whites and yellows. They really drive me crazy.
They blend in.
I can't see where the
Or
ball
dark
picks
brown.
up. And
Right.
you can't watch the grips, and you can't watch the thumb. You want to see the ball and its tilt.
Right. To me, it makes the ball look like it slows down a lot. I mean, you want your ball to slow down a little bit going into the pins, but you don't want it to look like it grabbed Velcro and just stopped dead.
Right. And those things can make it look like it's hooking 5 times more than it is. And it's a visual perception problem.
It's an illusion.
Very much so. Very much so. So this match we're watching with Chris and Todd is pretty much
going to game
done
7.
deal. It's going to go to Game 7. See who is going to join.
Jaros and Duke.
Jaros and Duke on the show. So.
I'll tell you what, Jaros is unbelievable. He flies under the radar so much. I mean, I have a list of underrated guys, and he's at the top of it. I mean, he's got 7 titles. He won a Tournament of Champions. He's got 41 regional titles. He shot 300 on TV. He's unbelievable. He's there every week. Mike Devaney's another underrated player. Richie Allen. Don't be surprised if Richie Allen wins a major, because he has such a unique release and a unique ball roll. When he gets it going, he's hard to beat. Guys like that just fly under the radar, but they bowl so good every week. It's a shame that they're not as appreciated
They're
as they should
household
be.
names.
Yeah.
Right. See, I knew Jaros when he was 17 years old. I did a TV show in Chicago, and he came on the show, and he was already bowling great at 17. And I went over and I told his mother, I said, you know, get this kid a lot of practice. Get him somebody to teach him. I worked with him a little bit when he first started, but I can't take a lot of credit because he's just a natural talent. And you can be a good coach, but you need a good student. He was an excellent student.
Speak of the devil.
There he is.
Are your ears ringing?
He's a hard worker, too.
Yeah. Nice ball.
Great ball, Steve.
I know the whole family, so this guy could bowl, I'll tell you.
Well, what a huge opportunity as a fan if you get a choice to come out here, or a chance to come out here, to see these guys in person and what they do with the balls. It's such a privilege to come out here every week. You take it for granted. I see it every week, but to come out and watch these guys and what they do, you just pick up so much information to make your game better. It's just a huge amount of information that's available to you, especially if you're not just a fan because you see them on TV, but if you want to learn something and watch what they do and figure out why, that's how you get better. And
yeah, if we come in your area, you should definitely come to these tournaments. And the guys, they're accessible enough to talk. They'll ask them questions. They'll help you. I have not seen any guy refuse a person some help.
And arguably, there people say one way or another, but you're going to get an opportunity to watch the greatest bowler of all time, in Walter Ray. I mean, how many more years is he going to be out here and bowling on tour? And
He'll be bowling until he's 60.
He very well could be.
He's unbelievable.
He's in good condition.
Yes, he is.
But for all he's accomplished and the amount that he's done, to have, I wish I could have seen Earl in his prime as a fan. And I saw Dick bowl, and I saw Earl bowl, but it was very late in their career. But to watch him when he's still competitive and still able to win, to come out here, so what an honor to watch him every week.
How would you like to bowl against all these guys like I did?
Exactly. Not easy.
The one year I won 2 tournaments, I beat Earl. Both titles. That
got
guy
your hands full bowling him.
Ooh, how about Weber?
But just for the opportunity to see, even what Barnes is now, where's he going to be 20 years from now? But to be able to see Walter now is just it's a privilege every week, and he's just an amazing individual. And
He's
Pete
very down to earth.
Down to
He's
earth.
a little goofy, but
yeah.
he's down to earth.
Who's
People,
that?
Definitely.
Walter.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
he's different.
Yes,
He's different.
Yes, he's very intelligent. He's
a different breed of cat.
yeah.
Yes.
But getting back to Earl and Dick Weber, it's amazing. Dick Weber and I probably bowled the longest on the PBA tour of anybody. I know he bowled in 6 decades and won, and I won in 5. But the strangest thing is, we only bowled each other once for a title.
Wow.
Really?
I bowled him many times in the
That's a
finals.
Match play.
Bowled him one time for the title,
a heck of
and
a
he
stat.
beat me. Yeah, and I never got a shot at him again.
He probably reminded you of that
Oh, yeah.
a bunch,
I
too.
reminded him of it. I said, I want a shot at you, baby. He was such a wonderful person. Dick Weber,
we lost him much too soon.
people
Yes.
don't have any idea how close Dick Weber and I were. In fact, I'll tell you how close we are. He went on the History Channel before he had passed away, and I called him and I said, Dick, I said, you look like a white ghost. I said, you better start putting a little makeup on. I said, you look chalky on the show. So Christmas comes, and a package comes from me, and it says to Carmen Salvino at my home. And it said from St. Louis. I says, who the hell is sending me a package from St. Louis? It didn't dawn on me. So I opened it up. It's a makeup kit from Dick Weber with eye makeup, fingernail polish, the rouge for the cheeks to get a little red. I broke up. That's the kind of relationship we had. I really miss that guy. I really do.
We all do.
He was unbelievable. He was always a gentleman. He treated you like he was your best friend.
Yeah.
The memory I have of him is I bowled Pete in the 1988 U.S. Open on the show, and my dad.
Sure, I met him.
And my dad was in the crowd,
Right.
and Dick came up and sat next to him and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Dick Weber. I mean, that's
Like
how.
he needs to
Right,
introduce
exactly.
himself,
That's how
right.
he was, and my dad had a great time sitting next to him, talking to him.
Yeah.
It was one of the thrills of my dad's life,
Yeah.
getting to sit next to Dick Weber.
But
Yeah, I met him the first time I worked at the USBC, or used to be ABC tournament, and he came in the booth and introduced himself. He needed a thumbhole opener or something, and I saw him 3 years later, and he remembered my name.
oh yeah,
It was the first time I met him. I saw him for 5 minutes. Boom, boom. Opened up the thumbhole. He left, and 3 years later, he's like, "Hey
Hi,
Jeff, how
Jeff."
you doing?" I just did like the double take. I'm like,
yeah.
"Remember my name?"
It's
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
No shot of me doing that.
Yeah.
I'm a disaster with
You know
names.
who was good at that too? Billy Whaley. He had like a photographic memory. He would meet you and tell you your conversation that you had with him 3 years ago. He was unreal. Yeah. But, you were speaking earlier about clutch bowlers. If you wanted somebody to throw a strike for you, Dick Weber was the guy too. I'd pick him over a lot of people. If my life was on the line, I would have picked him. He found a way to get to the pocket. I'll tell you. If you had to cut it off, flip it, whatever, he found a way to hit that pocket. And he carried. That's what drove me crazy when I bowled him. He carried.
He kicked that 5-7 off the wall.
Oh, the 4-5-7 off the wall, automatic.
So
Sean Rash.
Rash beat Fagan. He'll be bowling Duke on the show. So all we have is the Barnes Game 7, which will be starting. We had to wait for the Fagan match to get done before Todd and Chris
This will
will
be
bowling.
interesting because Todd switched balls at the end of last game, but he still looks like he's a little bit lost on the left-hand lane. And bowling here this week, the left-hand lanes hook significantly more than the right-hand lanes. For whatever reason, it's about 10 boards difference, and for me, it was throwing 2 different balls. So that's how much
Give me 2
difference there was
seconds.
between
I
the
got
two
to
lanes.
just stop the stream and start it again.